My name's Shay Spitz and I play for Kwun Southern in Hong Kong Premier League. As far as a league in and of its own, I've solely played in Hong Kong, but as far as traveling around Asia to play, played in Thailand, Indonesia, and where else has it been? No, predominantly Hong Kong, Thailand and Indonesia. Football being a small world, I was playing in the US at the time and got in contact by an agent in China. From there, I was offered a trial, a week-long trial in Hong Kong, and never looked back since then. I grew up in Australia and played professionally in the US. I think one of the biggest differences is probably physicality. The physicality in Asia is a lot lower than that of the US or Australia. So for me, that's probably the biggest difference as far as the soccer side of things. As a foreigner coming into Asia, I think it's a great place to be because there's an immediate differentiating factor, the fact that you're a foreigner coming in. You're going to get some extra benefits on the whatever that may be coming in as a foreigner. There's little things here and there that as far as the club helping you, your salary is going to be a bit more. So I think it's a good place when you can go into somewhere where you already have a differentiating factor from where it is you're going. The perks playing in Asia would be, for one, I think you can extend your career slightly longer. As I was talking about before, the physicality level is lower than that of the US or Australia, for example. So the fact that you don't have to be in a game that's as taxing on your body physically, I think you can extend your career 1, 2, or even 3 years further than what it may have been playing in another country. Coming over from, originally it was straight from the US to Hong Kong. Culture's different. At the end of the day, it's an Asian country. But as far as looking primarily at Hong Kong, it's very, very westernized. For the most part, everyone speaks English or even enough to get around. So you don't really have that issue with the language barrier. It's almost like you're going to another Western country, but there just happens to be a lot more Chinese people than wherever else it was you were at the time. I think one of the most memorable times playing in Asia was playing in Indonesia. They're mad about their football over there. I'd come over with an MLS team for a postseason tour, and we had a game against 2 Indonesian clubs. Probably 3.5 hours before kickoff, there was 15,000 fans in the stadium singing and dancing. And once the game started, it was packed out at 35,000 fans, lightning and thunder. And in parts of Asia, the rules are slightly different, so there was no stoppage of play. It continued, the fans got louder, and it was one of the best experiences playing over here in Asia. Look, I mean, if you're looking for seeking opportunities outside of the US, for example, Asia's a great place to go. As we talked about before, if you get yourself situated with a good club and you perform well, you can extend your career longer than what you would be able to play in the US. One of the other things I would say is the travel side of things. If you look at Hong Kong, it's obviously a small country. There's not really an away game. The furthest you'll travel is about an hour. Whereas when I was in the US playing, you'd go from West Coast to East Coast, and that's a 5.5 hour flight. So the travel alone is taxing on your body, and you don't get that here in Hong Kong specifically. So just that in and of itself, you can save your body a little bit for games, and with the physicality, you can extend that career a few years out from what it would have been originally.